Ancient Indian texts are full of amazing wisdom. Two incidents grabbed my attention. The outcome of these incidents were simply mind-blowing. Amongst the five Pandavas, the most famous was Arjun, followed by Bhima. What is startling is that even after 5,000 years, not 10 or 20 centuries, but an entire 5,000 years later, today's time, in year 2020, several parents in India are continuing to name their child as Arjun. Isn't that absolutely baffling? Sachin Tendulkar named his child Arjun. I personally know of several Arjuns in my circle. I haven't heard many Bhimas though, but I assure you, if you ask any Indian child to pick up a favorite from the five brothers, it would be Bhima. My guess is that Arjun is a role model for adults because of his war skills. Kids love Bhima because of his superhuman strength. And this is where it dawned on me, strength or power made these two more famous than their other three brothers. Coming back to the incidents, I was amazed at the accomplishments of one other brother, Yudhishthira. Logically speaking, this seems to be extremely important achievements. Therefore, I am confounded why these feats didn't get Yudhishthira the fan following that Arjun or Bhima got. Check this out. Incident number 1. The Pandava brothers become thirsty while in the jungle. Yudhishthira asks Nakula, a younger brother, to fetch some water. Nakula climbs up a tree and sees a pond nearby. He goes there but does not return. Yudhishthira then asks Sahadeva to check why so long. Sahadeva doesn't return. It's Arjuna's turn, but no. Then Bhima, the mightiest of the brothers, Bhima too does not come back. Yudhishthira is worried and trudges to the pond. Apparently the four brothers were captured by a yaksha. A yaksha, by the way, is an ancient human-like being, a nature spirit who is benevolent, sometimes mischievous. Now, this yaksha owned the pond, and it seemed like the yaksha had captured the four brothers. The yaksha was keen to ask some questions and challenges Yudhishthira to answer these questions in return for his brothers. If Yudhishthira fails to impress him, the yaksha warns that he too would be captured and killed. Yudhishthira has no choice, so he agrees. The yaksha asks him some questions, of which here are the ones most intriguing. Question number 1. What is bigger than earth? What is faster than the wind? What grows faster than grass? What is the greatest dharma? What is the greatest kind of wealth? What is the greatest kind of happiness? What is a man's worst enemy? And what disease will never have a cure? I'll tell you what Yudhishthira replied, but first would love to give you some time to think about what answers you would have given in his place. Do write down your answers before you proceed. This is a request, because only and only when you actually write down your answers would you realize the wisdom of Yudhishthira's answers. The yaksha was keen to ask some questions and challenges Yudhishthira to answer his questions in return for his brothers. If Yudhishthira fails to do so, the yaksha warns him that he too would be captured and killed. Yudhishthira has no choice, so he agrees. Yudhishthira answers. What can I say? Such wisdom, such evolved answers, stunning, isn't it? If you give the answers a real good thought and go beyond the exterior meaning of the words, you will see how true and how mesmerizing this wisdom is. The yaksha too is mesmerized and happily lets go of the other brothers. Yudhishthira and the four brothers return safe and sound. Now, what caught my attention is that had it not been for Yudhishthira, the four brothers would have remained captive, possibly killed by the yaksha. This in spite of their war skills and strength. I bet had it not been for Yudhishthira, Sachin Tendulkar wouldn't be naming his child Arjun. So the important question is, what is greater, strength or dharma? Dharma seemed superior because Yudhishthira was lock, stock and barrel committed to Dharma. His answers originated from this commitment to Dharma. The wisdom impacts the Yaksha so much that he not only lets go of the brothers but blesses Yudhishthira. Here is another incident where Yudhishthira, the less illustrious of the brothers, did better than his other more famous, more powerful brothers. Incident number 2. Towards the end of their lives, the 5 brothers decide to renounce the world and go to heaven. Yudhishthira, however, is the only one who reaches heaven after death. He qualifies while all his other great brothers don't. It seemed like the accomplishments of his other brothers, though recognized and worshipped on earth, couldn't get them a place in heaven. Yudhishthira, on the other hand, makes it. But such is the greatness of this man that he refuses to enter heaven without his brothers. Ultimately, he convinces the Lord of the heavens, and all the brothers end up in heaven thanks to Yudhishthira. Yet again, Dharma wins, strength loses. Strength in today's context could be power, money, connections at high places, or otherwise. The question therefore is, are we making a mistake aspiring for strength, power and money? Are we going wrong respecting those with strength, power, money? Should we be aspiring for Dharma instead? After all, strength is temporary, Dharma is permanent.